Okay, so today we are going to learn about triangular prisms. So rectangular prisms were pretty simple. I hope you guys got the hang of them by now. A triangular prism has a triangle base on each side. All right. These can be a little tricky just because it gets a little confusing, the units of measure where they're labeled, and you get confused as to like what's the height, what's the base, and so on and so forth. So this is the formula for volume. Now, what I would like you to write down, or if you have your book, it's actually in your book. This lesson starts on page 747, and it gives you the same exact examples that I'm narrating right now. So you can watch the video and look in your book and do examples to help you out. But the volume is the base, but now the base is broken down to the area of a triangle times the overall height. So that little b right here is not just one number initially. You actually have to find the area of one of the bases and then multiply it by the height. All right, I know that sounds confusing, but hopefully after we do a few problems, it'll make a little bit more sense. So let's get started. The volume of the triangular prism. So this is what I was talking about. There's a lot going on here, right? The 8 meters is pointing to this line down here. This 10 meters is pointing to this line right here. 12 and 8/10 is the hypotenuse of the base. It's the longer side of the triangle. And 13 meters, I'm assuming, because I'm not even really that fond of this kind of thing, but I'm assuming the 13 belongs to the height because it's kind of pointing at this line right here. So what you're going to have to do is find the area of this triangle down here and then multiply it by 13. So now they're throwing curveballs at you. You never want to use the hypotenuse of a triangle when you're talking about area, right? Area is base and height, half the base and height. This number is thrown in to throw you off. It's put there to throw you off so that you can use the wrong numbers. So let's hope that doesn't happen. This is how you're going to go about it. The area of the triangle is 1/2 of 8, because that is the base, times 10. So you pretty much do 8 times 10 divided by 2, right? That was the best way I felt that we understood it last when we did the area of a triangle lesson. So it'd be 80 divided by 2, which is 40. Wrong direction. So then you're going to substitute that number 40 in for B. So there you go. They substituted in this entire formula, I guess you can say, to show you how it works. And they put the 13 as the height. So this should have been 40 times 13, which is 520. But again, it's talking about volume, so it's cubic meters. You have to write out the word cubic meters, or you have to use the exponent 3 next to the letter M. Sorry, I keep going the wrong direction with my mouse. Let's move forward. All right, now I'm going to write on this slide because this doesn't give you as much of a breakdown. Again, take a really good look at the triangle, the triangular prism. You have to really examine it for a minute to understand where the numbers are relating. Look at the lines. Like this 4 is actually the height of the prism, right? It's turned on its rectangular base, not on the triangular base, in a sense. These kind of mess with your eyes a little bit. This 7 belongs to that line. And I would say this 6 belongs to this line. Oh, it's a really light color. So we're going to do, actually I lied. We're going to erase that. I'm going to stick with the base times height divided by 2. I feel like that's very straightforward for you all. So you're going to do 7 times 6 divided by 2. So 42 divided by 2, 21. 21 meters, whatever. We don't have to worry about measurement right now. This is the number that doesn't matter. They threw that in there to mess with you. So now you have volume equals, this is actually your base. You have to use that formula to solve for your base. So now here's your formula for volume of a triangular prism, right? You just solved for B. So now you're going to substitute this 21 in for B. So 21 times the height of 4. See where I wrote the red H? Height of 4. So then you're going to go ahead and multiply 21 times 4, which should be 84 cubic centimeters. Sorry, I'm using my finger as usual, and it gets messed up. Good with that? Remember, the good thing about the video is you can always pause it to write things down. Sorry, I thought I clicked that. There you go, 84 cubic centimeters. Number 2, the large skateboard ramp is shown. A large skateboard ramp is shown. Great. Find the volume of the triangular prism. So here, they didn't really throw in an extra number or whatnot. They didn't give you like the hypotenuse or anything, which is perfect. So here you're going to go ahead and, whoops, sorry, I keep doing that. Doing real good today, guys. The base is a triangle. That's why it's shaded in darker. So therefore you have to do the 7 times 10 divided by 2 and then multiply it by 4. So they're going to show you the longer way, 10 times 7 times a half. Again, just do 10 times 7 divided by 2. Whatever you get there. So it's 70 divided by 2, which is 35, and then 35 times 4, which is 140, excuse me, cubic feet. Let's do this one. Now, within seconds, they want to flip it on us and make us find the height. All right, I'm up for your challenge book. What you're going to do, always write down our formula that we're working with here, right? We're going to look at what we're given here. We're given the volume, 12. So now wherever I see V, I'm going to substitute a 12 in. Then they provide us with the base and the height of this itty bitty triangle right here. So this guy right here. 3/10 is your base, and this is actually, there should be an arrow pointing down there, I feel, to help make that a little bit clearer to understand. But then we're going to go ahead and substitute in 1 times 3/10 divided by 2, and we're multiplying that by the height that we need to find. So now we have our equation. So multiply this, 1 times anything is itself. So it's really 3/10 divided by 2, which is 15 hundredths times H. And how do we get rid of multiplication? We divide both sides by the 15 hundredths. These cancel out. You bring down your H, and 12 divided by 15 hundredths is 80. Crazy, I know. So 80 centimeters is your missing side here. That would be your height. All right. It's all a similar idea, everybody. You're just substituting in a formula. It's a matter of figuring out which numbers belong with which letters and moving forward from there. Again, you are allowed to use a calculator, so that helps, I feel. eliminate some of the confusion with dividing decimals and remembering every single thing we need to know at this point in our 6th grade careers. But I really feel like you guys are capable of doing this, and it will get easier the more practice. Oops, again, I keep going in the wrong direction. Silly, silly me. Oh, look, they do it all for us. I didn't realize that. All right, there you go. Everything I just did in a neater way. If you guys understand this right times the half, then stick with it. If you don't, then do the base times height divided by 2. I feel like that's more straightforward. Oh, now they're going to give us a lovely little tent. Hey, tent. We're going to find the volume of you. So, what to do, what to do. What do we think? Oh, I'm sorry, I keep yawning. So I'm looking at it as if this is your base, right? Here's your triangular base. I believe that 3 belongs to the base of this triangle, and that 4 belongs to the height of this triangle. That's what this pretty much tells us. This is actually the height of the entire prism. Think about, try to envision holding it. So the height would be from one base to another base, right? Here's the other triangular base here. Can't really see it, but you got to try to picture it being there. So that would justify this as being the height. The rectangular edges are the height of our triangular prism. Look at that. So now we're going to do V equals 4 times 3 divided by 2, and then times our height. 12 divided by 2 times our height. Oops. We know the height, Mrs. Kennedy. What are we doing? I'm sitting here thinking it's the last problem. I don't know why they threw that one at us at this point when we're still doing this. Whatever you need us to do, book. All right, the height is 7 times 7 times 7. Now we just have volume equals 6 times 7. So our volume should equal 42 cubic feet. Oh, Lordy be. There you have it, folks. I'm getting used to talking to myself so much. I'm going mad. Just kidding. There you go, 42 cubic feet. Alrighty. We're going to find the volume of the prism shown. I'm sorry, we're given the volume of the prism shown. I am doing just great today. Find the base length. So another substitute and solve. Yeah, there's the answer. Doesn't really matter because we still got to show our work. Change our color. Volume equals base times height. So they give us the volume of 396. We messed up this one. Okay. So then they give us it's blank b times 9 divided by 2 times the height of 11. Ooh, this one's tricky. All right, so 396 equals 9b divided by 2 times 11. Now we want to get rid of this 11 to start off with. So the opposite of multiplication is we're going to divide this by 11 to get rid of that. I'm going to run out of room on my little screen here. We're going to get out our calculator. 396 divided by 11 is... Really? Oh, look at that. It's 36. So this is 36 equals 9b divided by 2. Now you got to get rid of this division of the 2 by multiplying both sides by 2. So 36 times 2 is 72 equals 9b. And then you're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 9, and b will equal 8. There's your 8 feet proof. potatoes. Can I write on this side? Yeah, I can. All right, so I'm going to do the work here. 9b, divide by 9, divide by 9. These cancel out. B equals 8. All right, it's not pretty, but that is all the work. This is probably one of the more complicated ones that you guys have ever seen because you've had to get rid of this to this side, then this to this side, then this to this side. So there's a lot of steps. You got to just really be careful. Make sure you're substituting incorrectly and you're using the proper inverse operations. All these workers here. Dwayne bought a cheese wedge for his March Madness party. How appropriate. The cheese wedge has the dimension shown. The volume of the cheese wedge is 54 cubic inches. What is the height of the cheese wedge? So for some reason, my PowerPoint or Google slide doc decided just to keep all the responses there, which is fine. It's a lesson. You can see it. Again, they substituted in here for the base. A little tricky, I guess, because they wrote the 4 inches for the base here. Like you're going to look, this is 3 inches for the height. This base and this base are equivalent. They're equal, guys. So this triangle and this triangle are the same. Don't get confused with that. So that's where they got the 4 from. The 4 should be here too. It's the base. The height is 3. So it's 4 times 3 divided by 2, which is just 6, right? 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then the h is what we're solving for. So we leave it the variable h. When you're talking about multiplication, you can just have them next to each other like this, 6h. You divide both sides by 6, and you get 9 for the height. Worked out nicely. Did we do this one already? I don't think so. Let me look at my book. No. Okay. I believe this is one of the last ones. And again, wait, no, we did do this, didn't we? The height is 8. Oh, no, the height was 8 there too. Okay. Whatever. I don't know. It seems to be malfunctioning now because it's just not, it's giving me all the answers. Not a big deal. All right. Again, here's another one where they're giving you the volume. We're going to write our formula down. Always, always, always write your formula down. It helps you keep it in your head. 768 is your volume. Our base is 12. We don't know the height of our triangular base. So we are actually solving for the height of the triangular base. So we're going to do a lot of those steps like we did in the last problem together. So we know the base of 12h divided by 2. And the height is 16. We can actually solve this, right? We can simplify that because 12 does go into 2 evenly. So why not? I say go for it. 6h times 16. So again, you want to divide both sides by 16, opposite of multiplication. That gets rid of that. Now we just have 6h on this side. And 768 divided by 16. There's your 48. And boom, look at that. Divide both sides by 6. This isn't as many steps, I guess, because we were able to simplify up here. If we didn't, then it would have been a crazy amount of extra steps. But simplify, that turns into 1h. And 48 divided by 6 is 8. There we go. I think these are probably the hardest ones. I'm sure you're looking at it like, yep, I agree. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Okay, here's your ticket out the door, your exit ticket for this lesson. I'll give you a few minutes if you want to get a piece of paper. I know you don't have the picture in front of you, but believe it or not, with these types of problems, it's probably easier not to have the picture because it can be, as you saw, so confusing to figure out which numbers belong to which sides. For this one, it's actually telling you a triangular prism with a base length of 7, a base height of 10. When they say base length and base height, that's actually telling you the triangular base. So here's our, ready for my beautiful drawing? Here's our our triangular prism, right? The base length is going to be here. That's the 7. The base height is here. All right, that's the 10. And then the prism height. Prism height is the rectangular one, right? That's 15. So take a second and substitute and solve. I'm going to erase my beautiful drawing. All right, now we're going to do it. Volume equals 7 times 10 divided by 2 times 15. Pretty much just substitute and solve. This is 70 divided by 2 times 15. And then that breaks down. I'm going to move it over here to 35 times 15. That's really it. And who wants to do that in their heads? Not me, my friends, not me. So 525 cubic yards. All right, there's your exit out the door answer. And please rewatch this, like I usually tell you, as many times as you need to understand. You can look up other YouTube videos regarding volume of triangular prisms. Do what you need to succeed, guys. Please ask me any questions that you have. And I will also, underneath this explanation, I will post an assignment for you to complete so that you can show me whether you get it or you need more help or are confused.